What's up, Oaks? How's it going? Welcome back to the Fight Scene Podcast. We are back in the shed. It has been many, many months too long, and we are back. Cam, how are we feeling?
Dude, first of all, give me some of this, bro.
Give me some
happy
love.
to be back in the shed, dude. The shed is where we belong. It's where the podcast needs to happen. And I'm so happy that you're back in town so we can rip this now, bro. We can do it the proper way. So, yeah,
Proper
stoked to
way.
be here.
What the fans deserve.
Exactly.
And today we're going to be chatting about upcoming this weekend, Gamrot against Salkilld. Interesting fight, should be a good one. Rest of the card, not looking too great, but Serbia wasn't looking too great until it had the most first-round finishes ever with 10. So, sleeper cards, they do that sometimes. And then talking about UFC 330, mainly talking about how shit it is, but we'll get to that when we get to that, and obviously Islam against Ian Gary. It's exciting. UFC Serbia was unreal.
Yeah,
unreal.
Definitely, dude. Definitely. You know what? It's always the fight nights that provide the greatest memories. I would say, okay, not the greatest memories, but the greatest fights. You know, zero expectations, throw it on, watch some guys just get absolutely brutalized. I mean, how could you not be happy?
How could you not be happy? Uros Medic, absolutely killing D-Rod.
R.I.P.
Dude, that combo he hit him with, punch, knee, then he soccer kicked him to the liver. Like,
very Khalil Roundtree-esque.
Uros Medic is up there in the conversation in welterweight now. He's an exciting guy to watch, to be honest. And then this weekend in the lightweight division, Cullen Salkilld making his return to the octagon after not too long, and he's coming up against Gamrot. He's making his surge for the top of the lightweight division to get in title contention. Is he going to get through Gamrot?
What an interesting question. Obviously we saw Salkilld versus Benny Darush the other day. And, that was a test for Salkilld. It was a big question. Can he handle the wrestling? Can he handle the pressure? What happened? Flatlined him. Absolutely killed him. Now, Gamrot's no Benny Darush.
No.
He's no Benny Darush. Yeah. We know what Gamrot's plan is. We know what he's going to do. The question is, which fighter can impose their will better? Will it be Salkilld? Will it be Gamrot? Dude, I don't really froth for Gamrot. I'll keep it real. Based on that, I'm voting for my boy Salkilld. I think he's got it. He looked, from my memory, Benny kind of had him on like the cage a couple times, but he couldn't necessarily do much with it, which leads me to believe that Salkilld could find it. He could find it.
I was saying in a video earlier this week that I reckon Salkilld, he's got the takedown defense and he's got wrestling of his own. So I think he's gonna stop any wrestling threat from Gamrot, and could be on the feet mainly, and I think Gamrot's going to get shit whipped.
You think it's going to get starched, eh?
I think maybe a later KO. I think he's relatively durable. But I don't see, Gamrot, what happened to him with Oliveira when he lost, just stuffing his head in like a guillotine.
Yeah.
No, his rear naked out ended. But like, I don't see Gamrot being as silly this time around against Salkilld. And I don't think Salkilld has the jiu-jitsu to submit him as quickly.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Salkilld will piece him up on the feet. So I'm also backing my boy.
Yeah.
You got to back him.
You got to back it. I think that this fight kind of brings to question this theory of how much have strikers evolved. You know what I mean? Like maybe a couple of years ago when you had an all-out wrestler against an all-out striker, you kind of knew the result. You know what I mean? It was going to be taken down, held down, maybe subbed, maybe ground and pounded. But the strikers of this modern age have evolved now to they can handle it. When they see a Gamrot coming at them, they're gonna wrestle. So they know to keep their distance, they know how to avoid it, etc., etc. So I suppose the question is, how evolved is Salkilld? Can he handle it? Can he deal with that wrestling pressure? Can he counter it? That's the real question we have in our hands here.
Yeah, it's such a big test for him compared to anything else. Like Dariush, you have the wrestling threat, but Dariush recently just runs into a KO.
Yeah,
like
literally.
He has no threat anymore. And Salkilld didn't face, a prime, maybe just out of prime Dariush. He fought a washed Dariush.
Yes, definitely.
And up to then, he hadn't really had much competition. Jamie Malarkey, Nasrat Haqparast, like he's just flatlined those oaks, finished them. But I think Gamrot's a big test for him, but I don't think Gamrot's going to be able to get any sort of momentum in this fight. And that's going to be...
shut down.
I think it's going to be like Dan Hooker. He's going to look like he's winning, and then he's just going to kind of maybe fade off and maybe lose a decision because he didn't do enough and he looked bad on his reactions to punches, or I think he's going to get finished by Salkilld. I think Salkilld can finish him. I think Salkild's quite a big lightweight, in my opinion.
I think so. I think he's
a large guy.
Deceptively strong. Also, he doesn't look like he's got that power, but he does.
Mm.
We've seen it like a couple times now. And it's like one of those interesting fights where you have like this prospect who is developing and stuff, and you don't necessarily know what their limit is. Because, you have to fight the competition. You have to build up that repertoire. So this is probably his first, okay, he had Benny, sure. Yeah. But this is his first like real test. So I think that Salkild's like ceiling will be shown in this fight. If he can starch him, wow. Okay, what do we have here? But if he does get taken down and held down, then we know, okay, cool.
Thing is, Salkild's lucky in this fight because he's still a prospect. Either way, he comes out of this fight learning something.
Definitely.
Either he flatlines Gamrot and we go, shit, this guy's the real deal. He goes to decision, wins it, gets valuable experience going 5 rounds, or he loses and he evolves his game and comes back better.
100%.
So I think if you Salkilld in this realm, unless you get finished, you can take positives out of any result. Relatively happy. Obviously, no one likes to lose, but you can always take a lesson. Whereas for Gamrot, this is like a must-win. Like he keeps going win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. We're looking at his record here. Lost to Oliveira, which is a big fight at the top of the end of lightweight, and then fights Ribovics, who's on the lower end, and finishes him in the second round. So this is a must-win for Gamrot if he wants any chance of getting back into some sort of title talks.
100%.
He needs to go on a bit of a streak here, and he can start to build a streak if he gets a win now, but I don't think he will. I can't back him.
And I have a question for you here, Bester. I think it's very important in this modern day now to talk about the stock of a UFC fighter, because wins and losses don't necessarily determine a fighter's value these days, I would say. It's more about how they recover and what they can do in the future. We were saying now that if Salkilld just got beaten by points or whatever, you can't necessarily be just that disappointed. But if it does happen, how do you see that affecting his stock, Salkild's stock? Like, what do you think a loss does to him? What do you think a win does to him?
I think a loss hurts him a decent amount, because a lot of people will look at Gamrot and know how well-rounded he is and how many times he's put on good fights. And they'll see him win and they go, I could have seen that happen. He's an underdog, but he's a good value underdog.
Sure.
Whereas a lot of people look at him and go, Gamrot, shit. Like, if you're losing to Gamrot, like, you're not going anywhere.
True, very true.
So I think if Salkilld loses, there's going to be definitely a section of his fans that go, oh, this guy's, it's not that, he's not it, he's maybe doesn't have that X factor.
Sure.
And I think it's the same end if he wins. A lot of people will be praising him for it, and a lot of people will go, yeah, it was Gamrot, you should have won.
Yeah.
So it depends how he wins. He's got to get a finish if he wants if he really wants to push his stock up there. But this puts him up there in terms of a big lightweight fight.
Definitely. I mean, a KO definitely sets him up for a big fight. I mean, 100,000,000%.
Definitely.
But a loss, what do you think a loss puts him at? Is it a fight at the same level as Gamrot, or are we thinking maybe a little bit lower?
If Salkilld loses to Gamrot, who he fights next? I mean, he's got to fight down if something like that happens.
Yeah, I mean, you'd imagine so.
So for those who don't know, Salkilld ranked 9, Gamrot ranked 6. If Salkilld loses, then he's gonna he sets up like a Dan Hooker, or Fiziev or something like that.
Benoit is nice there.
It could fit. It could go up against some of those older gatekeepers. But if he wins, you give him Paddy Pimblett next.
Paddy, you reckon?
This is big. Paddy's ranked 5.
That is true. You don't think they're lining up that Paddy Topuria fight though?
But I guess Paddy did just win, so
it could be. You know what? If Salkilld wins and starches him, how's Ruffy there? Oh yeah, I guess his rank has been updated. So
but that also sets up a cool fight.
It does set up a cool fight.
Because even though Ruffy's not ranked that high and he hasn't fought the best competition besides for BSD, which he lost.
Sure. Makes sense.
It could just set up a cool fight to then fight in title, like to fight for contention, to fight for the title. I reckon if Salkilld wins, he's still a fight or 2 from the title, because it's still a bit stacked at the top with Gaethje. I don't know if he's got another fight in him.
Really? As in this year, or?
I think he could retire on top.
You reckon, huh?
Why not? He's finally proved himself. He'll want one defense.
I think he will want one defense. I think he would have retired already.
Because then he'll get McGregor allegations.
No, that is so
You'll
true.
never
That
get
is so true.
allegations.
But needless to say, it's very interesting, I suppose, what could happen with this fight. Even, listen, Gamrot somehow starches
Salkilld.
somehow. Then
Maybe subs him?
where does Gamrot go now? Because that'll push him up the rankings.
There's a lot of fights to be had.
Holloway? Is that crazy?
No, I mean, but Holloway technically beat McGregor. Is he going to wait for McGregor to come back, rematch again?
Yeah.
Is he going to do that though? Another payday to not fight. But like
Literally.
Holloway is not about that though. He's still so good.
Yes, definitely.
Like McGregor was never winning. McGregor was never winning.
Yeah.
Holloway is still so good.
He's still in his prime. How old is he now? He must be...
Holloway Gaethje rematch for the title.
Yo, mate, I think unfortunately for Holloway, he does sort of need another win because that McGregor one is such an asterisk.
Yeah.
It's such like you won, but like, it wasn't really a fight.
Poirier, even though it was Poirier's retirement.
So that's true. I just don't think he jumps a queue right now.
Where is Arman?
That's what I was going to say. I was looking at the rankings now and I'll say, Arman,
is this guy ever going to fight again, bro?
God, it's getting to the point now where it is a bit unbearable with Arman. He needs
His
to
last fight was Dan Hooker.
I heard rumors, Oliveira again. That's sort of the rumor going around right now. Would certainly be an interesting fight. It was a very close fight when they fought.
I would like to see Arman Gaethje. I think that would
Arman
be a
Gaethje.
cool one.
That would be a very interesting one.
But Arman needs to get his fat ass in camp.
Dude, he needs to get off the stream. Dude,
He
like
needs to stop hanging out with Nina.
oh my god, dude. That's a whole nother topic.
People
bro.
think they're husband and wife, dude. People think they're dating. And
Embarrassing,
Nina
bro.
has a husband.
It's embarrassing, bro. I'm sorry. This is another topic point, but Nina drama, oh my god, bro. Unbearable. Completely unbearable. I'm so over it now. Like, you can see what the game plan with it is. Okay, Dana White said, okay, you're an attractive girl. It's UFC fans. These are all like guys who are watching. Like, put yourself out there.
Yeah.
But like, I couldn't care less, dude. You know what I mean? I don't want to see her like getting frisky with these fighters.
What
and stuff.
saves her is that she does those funny interviews and those become clips. But when she does all this weird sexual grappling shit, it's
weird.
like, nah.
Dude, that one she did with Tracy Cortez the other day, I was just like, what are we doing here? Like,
What
this
are we
is
doing
softcore.
here?
This is just softcore, like, at this point. Like, I'm not interested in this. I watch the UFC because I want to watch fights.
I want to watch people knock each other
Yeah,
out.
I don't want to see, like, a girl, like, being sexually provocative with these fighters. I'm not interested in it. I really am not.
Problem is there are too many people.
There are
now.
too many, because sex sells, bro.
Yeah,
It
sex
always
sells.
does.
But yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on, dude. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Okay.
UFC 330 coming up next
What a great
weekend.
card. What a great card. Can we say, what a great card. I can't wait.
PU.
God, what a rodder.
Oh,
Hey, what a rodder.
goodness.
Kick us off, please, bro.
Dude, UFC 330. I'll put the card up on the screen here for you guys to see. It is an absolute stinker so far. Obviously, the main event, Islam Makhachev against Ian Gary. That is a great fight.
It's a great fight.
Then we've got Dern Robinson as the co-main. It just doesn't set up firework women fight. You know how this fight's going to go, and I can't see it being entertaining. It's not going to be like Tracy Cortez violating Macy Barber.
Exactly.
Fight. It's going to just be a bit of punching and a bit of wrestling. It's not going to be a fun fight. Islam Gary could also be a snooze fest.
It could be a snooze fest.
Islam said he didn't like the way the first fight went, and he wants to change that.
With the JDM.
Yeah, he didn't like the way the fight with JDM went. So now he's going to change it up. But I think he's lying.
Yeah, I don't think he's lying, bro. Listen, certainly a very interesting fight. In terms of, like, hard to necessarily predict it. In my opinion, it probably is the biggest test they could give Islam at the welterweight division. Yeah. And I say that because Ian Gary, or Conor McGregor, okay, let's not forget, I think that his fight IQ is extremely high. You can say what you want about it, but you can't deny that. You know, this guy, he's almost, I hate to make this comparison, I really do, but he's like Drickus in the sense of he's coming in with that game plan. You know what I mean? He's studied his opponent. He knows what he has to do. And Gary's good at that. He is really good at that. That's hence why
I think you're going to compare Ian Gary.
Yeah, I know. Well, dude, it's not the comparison I wanted to make. Okay? But unfortunately, it does make sense in that sense. That he does have good game plans. And I think that he's going to come in with a game plan with Islam. I mean, we all know what Islam's going to do. He's going to, fuck him around a little bit. And then he's going to shoot. He's going to shoot. You know, that's what he's going to do. The question with Gary is, can you get him down? I mean, how... In that Shavkat fight, did he necessarily get taken down that much?
Islam can get him down.
You reckon?
Shavkat's not Islam, bro.
That's true.
Islam is... He's just finished his last cycle of roids. He's so strong now.
That's true.
Like, he's going to take him down easy, bro.
You
the
reckon,
question is, can Gary get up?
True.
And can he hurt him when they're on the feet and maybe discourage takedowns by throwing things up the middle?
Yeah.
Throwing teeps, throwing his jabs,
Throwing
uppercuts,
that, maybe that
front
knee.
kicks, knees.
Yeah.
Discourage Islam from going for the takedown. That's what Dricus did to Kamaru. Every time he shot, he kneed him in the fucking head.
Exactly. And then Kamaru didn't want to shoot.
And Kamaru didn't want to shoot. So if Ian Gary can get those weapons up the middle, maybe he discourages Islam with a knee or two to the nose. Maybe. To the cranium and say, don't come here, bro.
And you know, that might play, I don't necessarily think Islam's got an ego, but, you know, we've seen him get into these wars where he will strike. You know,
he might do what Hamza did.
He might, maybe.
Get emotional.
Maybe he gets emotional, and then what happens? Now you're in the fourth round, and you're losing a decision. Now you have to go crazy. And then that sets up maybe a clip from Ian Gary. Maybe he touches him and puts him to sleep. Who knows? Is that likely? Probably not. I think after that Islam JDM fight, we can see that he's not small. He's strong enough to get these guys down and hold them there. So I think that plays massively in his favor. Yeah. I think that fight also plays massively into his confidence. That, okay, I can get this guy down. Yeah. You know, if I get my hands on him, I can bring him down. But yeah, you know, for me personally, I see this fight going two ways. It's either Islam takes him down, wrestles him for a bit. Maybe Gary gets tired and Islam puts him to sleep. Maybe takes him down, holds him there, gets a submission or something like that. Or Ian Gary stays on the outside the whole fight. Like you said, discourages him, throws some knees, maybe some uppercuts, keeps him at bay. And then I don't think that Gary can necessarily finish Islam.
I was going to ask now, do you see Gary being able to knock out Islam perhaps?
The only way I see it is if if Islam starts getting desperate. Maybe it's like a Kamaru sort of thing where he can't get the takedown. So now he starts lunging from too far out and then bang, gets clipped, puts to sleep. But likely, I see a Ian Gary decision if he's going to win. That's. I mean, history says that. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he is a decision guy.
He's a decision machine.
Thing is he did really well against Prates, and that is aging really well.
Yeah.
I think Prates is a bit more of an animal now than he was against Ian Gary. I think he's had more fights. He's more vicious now for some reason. But the one thing I also wanted to mention was Ian Gary's reach. 4-inch reach advantage. He's 6'3". Islam's 5'10". That's big. Quite big compared to Islam in terms of length. Islam is a stocky guy, but Ian Gary's long. And if he can stick the jab out there and use the kicks and knees like we've been saying, he could decision Islam as long as he stops the takedown. Like, it's anytime Islam, Hamza, all those guys are fighting, the question's always, can they stop the takedown?
Yeah,
and if you can win.
And we've seen it,
stop the takedown, and he won. Dricus stops the takedown against Usman, and he wins. If he'd stopped the takedown against Hamza, no doubt he would have won.
He would have flatlined
But he just couldn't stop the takedown because he wasn't prepared for it. So if Ian Gary's going to be preparing for takedown defense, and Islam's going to be preparing to take him down. So if Ian Gary stops it, I think he wins this one.
I agree.
That's always the age-old question. I'm still picking Islam.
Yeah, you know what? I think that, brain and heart probably says Islam. But we were talking about it on our group chat. I kind of want to put money on Ian Gary because, when a fight comes like this, there's so much hate on Ian Gary right now. People are praying that he loses. I mean, when do you ever see normal fans supporting Dougies?
Yeah,
never. Do you know how bad how
bad Ian Gary has to be
to have that happen? But it's more so from a narrative sort of perspective of when everyone's backing someone so heavily, somehow the other opponent tends to pull it off. God knows how. And I said heart and brain says Islam, but there's just something
There's been so many upsets this year.
Exactly, bro. Would it be really that surprising? I saw on the screen there, it was 75% in favor of Islam, 25% for Gary.
Yeah, something like that.
Everyone wants Gary to lose. This is the time where he pulls it off. And it's head loss. It'll be head loss. It'll be head loss. So I'll ask you this: what are your thoughts on this whole narrative going into the fight? What do you feel about that?
Well, I think Ian Gary's just the worst.
He's unbearable. He really is
the worst. He's always been cringe, but he just keeps getting more and more and more. I think we didn't notice it when he started fighting, and he said there was an Irish man before me who said, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over. Yeah. And people were like, oh, okay, he's cringy. Irish, it's cringy, but we'll let it slide. And then it just got worse. And it's like snowball effect.
Literally.
And now he's just the worst person in the UFC. Anytime you see a video of Ian Gary, I'm gonna watch it, but I hate this.
Yeah,
I dislike
literally.
it.
It's like
honestly.
watching a house burn or something like that. You know what I mean? You want to look away, but it's like,
He's
I can't.
so cringe, and he loves the attention.
He does. You can clearly see it.
And I think that's why everyone started to see it now. Every time he opens his mouth, trying to be like cold, it's just like, can you put something?
I mean, dude, that Eminem shit he did with JDM way back.
I hate
dude,
that
like,
so
I mean, like,
much.
come on. You know, like, I usually try to be unbiased with fighters. I really do. You know what I mean? Like, some guys are just like a little bit more cringy than others. You know, you don't have to be an MMA fan or a UFC fan to know this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, some guys are just a little bit more cringy than normal, okay? But Ian Gary is just so unbearable. He is so fucking unbearable. And I'm not even being biased. I tried to like him. I tried to, bro. I went through a phase of like, okay, this guy's pretty cringe, but he's putting in good performances.
Everyone was just like, he's so good after protest. It doesn't matter if he's cringe.
Exactly.
It's too far.
But it's too much, bro. I mean, like, he's just got all that shit with his wife and with the way he acts and like with her ex-husband. It's just unbearable, bro. It really is. So I'm personally hoping it's flatlined. I'm sure that everyone watching this is the exact same. But goddamn, if he hits that upset, it's just gonna be head loss.
It is.
The MMA community will explode, bro.
It will be crazy. Ian Gary as champ would be actually
after putting away the pound for pound. Good lord, bro. Good lord. And the thing is,
just terminate the UFC.
Yeah, literally. I think I might start watching like Bellator or some stupid shit like that.
PFL,
PFL, dude. It will be crazy. I mean, it would be in a sense kind of cool to see, in the sense of like everyone's hating him, and he's just upset everyone. He's literally just been like, "Hey, fuck you, bro. I just did that shit, dude." So very interesting. I wonder what it must feel like to have not like 50% of the fan base against you, not 80%, 100%. I'll be surprised to see one Ian Gary.
I've definitely seen a couple Ian Gary fans, but like,
bro, if you're an Ian Gary fan, don't chat to me, bro. I don't want to hear what you have to say, bro. Just keep it to yourself. Click off, bro. We don't need your views, bro. But yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
And then I suppose a broader topic now, the UFC 330 card. What happened? Why is it so shit? Why are fans not coming to watch? What do you think?
You have a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I will say that I think Dana White overestimated Islam's star power. I think that he thought that Islam sort of like maybe a corner in that he could carry a whole card by himself. He can't. Yeah, if the rest of the card is shit, people don't care. Like the Ian Gary Islam fight's a banger. We've said it many times now. But that fight's not good enough for people to spend like, I don't know what the ticket prices are going for, but I think it was like $300 minimum.
No, it'll be more than that.
Dude, that's insane, bro. People aren't going to pay that kind of money just to watch that fight.
UFC London was £300 minimum. So this will be even more.
I mean, here's a question. Would you pay that kind of money to watch that fight? Say you're in America. It's the one fight you can watch.
Hell no.
Oh, you're not. Why would you? Why would you?
For the rest of the card, no. That's why I didn't go to UFC London, because the rest of the card, Movsar, Evloev, Rowan Murphy, it was so ass.
Yeah, literally.
Evloev and Murphy was such an ass fight anyway.
Especially the way it ended up going. But what are your thoughts? Do you think that Dana has overestimated Islam's star power, or do you think it's like another reason that the card just can't sell the stadium?
I'll tell you why. It's because he's not focused on UFC. He's focused on Zuffa boxing. He's focused on power slap. He's focused on gambling at the casino. But he's not focused on creating banger cards. And like, you know, unless it's a special event like the White House or UFC 300, like, it's just crazy. Like,
it is crazy.
Fights make cards, and if we somehow have just back-to-back bangers, it could be insane. But you want names. You want names on a numbered card like this with Gary and Islam are headlining.
It's true. I think that Conor McGregor probably is the only current MMA fighter that really can just sell out a whole card by himself.
Even if he breaks his leg.
I mean, dude, who's to say that if they rebook Holloway, McGregor, it doesn't sell out again in minutes? You know, it probably will. It's just that he's got that aura around him.
Mansour Abdul Malik, Edson Barboza, Jeff Neal, Chidi Njokwani, Dante Johnson, Eric McConaughey. Like, these are some of the names on the main card. And it's like you know these names, but you don't care. You're not really like anticipating their next fight.
I'm stoked to see them on like a prelim. Oh, Neil Magny's
it's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, okay, then I'll tune in for that one. But that's only if the main card is
Jeff Neal, bro, who just got finished by Uros Medic, bro. Like
Edson Barboza. Dude, this guy must be 400 years old right now. Dude, like, how is he on the main card? And I like Edson Barboza.
Yeah,
I'm not hating on him as a
he's
person.
not a main
He's not main card.
anymore.
Exactly, dude.
No, it's ridiculous.
So it just really is like, what was Dana thinking? Like, why? Like, did you really think this was going to work? Because I feel like you could have announced that card and we could have been like, hey, this is not going to sell out, bro. Like, what are you thinking? So it's a bit crazy.
Yeah,
it is a bit crazy.
It's a bit crazy. And what can you do? I mean, I hope it's still a banger. Look, there's still good fight potential, but you just when you lining up a card like this, you want to be like, oh my goodness, bro, the main card is just 5 bangers, like not Edson Barboza versus Ribovics.
You know what? It doesn't even need to be 5 bangers because you have Islam Gary, which is a massive fight. Get like 2 or 3 like big fights, and then the rest can be shit. But don't just overload us with prelim fights, because that's just like
glorified prelims.
Glorified prelims, bro. It's so true.
Glorified prelims. Well, that's what we do best as fans, bitch and moan.
It's true. It's true. It's true. But listen, I would say you and me aren't even generally that unreasonable. Okay? I'd say like we love fighting. We just love watching the guys fight. But from like a fan perspective, like you have kind of butchered this card a bit. Like it's just the reality. Like, are we gonna watch it? Yeah,
probably.
We're probably gonna watch it. But you could have done better. I feel like Dana probably knows he could have done better.
Yeah.
He would have got backlash as soon as he announced the card, and he did nuts about it.
Well, we'll leave you on that little nugget, Oaks.
Yeah.
How are you feeling for UFC?
Let us know.
But yeah, no, that'll wrap it up just about. So lucky to be back, bro.
Fucking
So lucky to
bro.
run it again. Hopefully we can keep it every now and then. I'm sure consistency is not going to be too great. Oaks are busy, but we'll try and run it as much as possible.
Oh, at the very least, you're not leaving off to England anytime soon.
Hopefully not.
So we can run it, bro. We can definitely run it.
All right, Oaks, thank you so much for watching. Check you in the next one.